Hello and welcome to this little tour of Campbell Park in Milton Keynes. So you can see we're in a dip and this is a grazing area. I'm not going to go into here, but this is a grazing area. Over there we've got the Tour Hotel. I'm just going to zoom in on the very tall new, I think it's called Hotel Le Tour. And it's a very grey day in April really. And I don't know whether you can see it, but over there we've got like the spike, I'm going to call it the monument. So back into wide field of view, I'm going down the hill, and at the bottom of this hill, quite a long way, is a cricket club. So I'm going to go down here, down this lovely sort of footpath. We can see over to the left we've got some really nice sort of greenery, got some lovely trees, and sometimes you will see livestock in this field. Again, it's a grazing area. We've got rivers and things, or I don't know if they're rivers, but very small rivers. I think they have a name, but I can't think of them. Tributaries or something. We have them running through. I think this can get flooded occasionally. I think it might be a floodplain, but we can see over there we've got really small river. Might go and have a look at that in a moment. So also dotted around Campbell Park are various sculptures and benches. So over here we can see a nice little work of art and a little river as well. You can see this river running down. Just going to zoom in. So we can see we've got some sort of very, very small drainage here. You could almost call it a river. And we've got a piece of art here called Animals in Wool over here. I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera, but we've got some animals in here. And because we're in a grazing area, we've got some various cattle traps, but it seems it's covered up at the moment. So we're coming up to a cattle trap and something else to keep the cattle in and maybe the bikes out. Not sure. So I'm going to walk over this cattle trap. This is where the water flows into this nice little pond. And we can see we've got another pond or river or way the water flows down here. Really quite interesting. So we can see the water flowing down this hill all the way. You can see water collecting here. So I'm not sure whether these two halves of the pond are connected. I guess they must be, otherwise this one would just constantly overflow. But we can see we've got water running all the way down this hill, and we've got water running down this side as well. So it all drains downhill and it all goes to the bottom. So again, you can see against the skyline we've got the spike, the famous monument. I don't really know what it's called other than the spike. The point, that's something else in Milton Keynes. Over here we have another sort of sculpture. That's very good. And up in this area is sort of walkways and benches just outside the park. So we're going to go down. There's this lovely little bridge coming up. So we're coming up to a signpost, and we can see here we've got Cricket Pavilion down this way. Back up this way is going to be the city centre, and along here is going to be Meadow, Avery Boulevard and Springfield up here. But if we go over this nice little bridge, we can take these steps up to the sculpture. Is it a sculpture if it's made of metal? No idea. So I'm going to have a look at the information for the sculpture. But if we go out along that road, get to a very main road, I think it's H5 Portway, which can take us to the A5. So this is Chain Reaction by Ray Smith, made in 1992. Designed to be viewed from every angle. Basic idea to create a three-dimensional model of figures balanced like acrobats in an endless chain. It's made from mild steel and painted iconic red. So there it is. Look at that. Goes up very high. So I don't know We're going to go down and we're going to stop at one of the benches. I do apologise if it's got really windy, and we'll maybe consider making our way to the cricket club. And this has been a gentler descent than coming up and down the stairs, but more windy, as you would expect. Up in the background, I can see the remnants of the centre of Milton Keynes. You can see the hotel, which has 14 floors, and you can see the outline, or I can see the outline of Milton Keynes Theatre. Might not be possible to see that on the camera because I'm using an action camera. So I'm coming down here now and quite close to an underpass. I'm not going to go through the underpass, that would take me over the other side of that road we looked at earlier, and I think maybe that takes me to residential areas or down to the marina. I think if I carried on this way going down the hill, I would eventually get to the marina. But yeah, there's a path that side that will take you between the main shopping centre and the marina. So we started over there on the bridge on this slight detour. We can see there's another little pond down here for water to collect, still following the flow of the water down the hill. And there's a nice bench here, Campbell Park Embossed bench. If we want to sit down, but we're not going to, we're going to keep going, or I'm going to keep going as I go down this hill. Now I've got a choice here. I can take the steps, or I can just carry on. I can take these steps, or I can carry on this path. I'm going to carry on this path because I can see there's a family coming up on the main path. So if I take this way, I won't get them on film, so they'll probably appreciate that, not being caught on camera. I can see here there's a bag of something. That's probably dog poo. I don't know why people would leave it here. If you're going to bag it up, why not just get it in a bin or take it home? I don't understand leaving it here for someone else to deal with. Because I'm getting old, that's one of my gripes. So now we are coming down and I can see yet another pond. And that's probably going to be where I'm going to stop today. I'm probably going to stop at this water area rather than make my way all the way down to the cricket pavilion. Although I think I'm very close to the cricket pavilion, so I'm going to make an assessment when I get to the pond, whether I carry on and make it all the way to the cricket pavilion, which admittedly isn't that far in the grand scheme of things, to go from the top of Campbell Park all the way down to the cricket pavilion. And it has been a lovely walk on quite an overcast day. Amazing how one day can change things. Yesterday was very, very sunny in the UK, and today it's not sunny. Today it's really overcast and threatening to rain, but that's what you get in the UK, particularly around April time. You get chancy weather. So we can see we've got yet another pond. This one's bigger, full of wildlife, and we are coming up to sort of a seating area and what I would call a pavilion. So it's really quite a large pond. Goes all the way around. Here we're at the pavilion, but here we've got quite a nice sort of viewing platform, really. Platform, it's not raised up or anything. You can see a duck running across the water there. Quite a lot of just stuff in the trees in this pond. A couple of benches to sit at. And over there we can see the cricket pavilion. And I am going to go around just to the outskirts of the gate so we can look at the cricket pavilion. So I can see over there we've got some form of business. I don't know what business it is, don't know what it does, but it's there. Can't see too much about it. So I'm quite zoomed in on this camera. I'm as zoomed in as I can be. For camera enthusiasts, I'm going to say I've put it on a certain stabilization, which does do some cropping, and then I've taken the clarity zoom or the clear view zoom, or whatever Insta360 you want to call it, and applied that as well. So it is always a wide field of view on an action camera, but this is probably as narrow as you can get. Now here we have the cricket ground, and over there we can see the cricket pavilion. On those hills it sort of looks like it's road and like Devonshire really, so I guess in the summer you can sit there and watch the cricket. So it's got sort of bits cut into it, into the ground, and it's all covered with grass, and this is just really nice, this cricket area. Down here we've got a nice circular bench for people to sit on, and some information about Campbell Park. And of course you can carry on up the hill and come out in a certain place. I don't know where you come out, must come out the other side of Campbell Park. I won't be going up there today. Apologies if there's a bit of wind coming up. Yeah, I do apologise for the wind. I'm going to try and cup my microphone, try and get rid of the wind. Now straight ahead, 12 o'clock to me, we've got the outdoor theatre. I'm going to call it the outdoor theatre area. Again, it's another amphitheatre with a covered stage really. So in the summer things are put on there, music, various things are put on there, and you'll often find kids just running around there because it's a great place to run around. So I'm going to stop this tour of Campbell Park. We've come to the end. I've just noticed all the solar panels adorning the roof of the cricket pavilion, which is a really nice touch, although not going to get much charge today with the weather as it is. And that is my tour of top to bottom of Campbell Park. Thank you.